I call my garden different because it is. I don't do rows. I try to limit sections and plant as many plants together as possible for them to help each other. And this gives me plenty of food to eat during the season and also store for the winter. Today, I'm going to go through the process I use to set things up. First, I want to clear another section of my backyard where I might expand additional beds or buckets. With that done, I move on to filling the raised bed bucket stand. I use a process called hugelkultur, where dead sticks, twigs, and leaves fill the bottom of the bed. This helps the creation of organic matter and good soil, while limiting the dirt I need to actually fill the bed. After that, I put in a layer of compost, then topsoil. And add bone meal in between the layers of topsoil. Bone meal is pricey stuff that helps root development. I've included a link to show you how to make your own bone meal from the bones you throw away. My dog hates it when I do that. And now, this bed is ready to plant. I got this wheelbarrow at a garage sale for $3. It's a little beaten up and lost a wheel, but it still works just fine. I got it because I use leaves, which are some of the best fertilizer you can get, but it takes a while for it to break down. In the past, I've used a paint stirrer to grind them up in a bucket and speed up the breakdown process. The wheelbarrow allows me to do the same thing, only on a larger scale. This batch I'm going to put in the bottom of my 5-gallon buckets. But before I do that, I have to get the buckets ready. Always remember to get food-safe buckets that are generally white, because other types use resin that can harm you. Some delis and stores will give them to you for free. The rule is, though, to use buckets that previously stored food. First, I need to drill holes that will allow for drainage. I use a 1/2-inch hole drill bit. The trick to prevent cracking the bucket is drill with the bit going in reverse. Going forward causes the bottom to split. Found that out the hard way. And now to fill the buckets. I'll come back later and layer in compost and topsoil to complete the fill. And on to my seedlings. At the end of the last growing season, I cut off some stems from my sweet potato plants. I put the stems in water and set them near a window. Those stems have now created roots, and I can use them for slips to grow more sweet potatoes this year. I try to reuse a lot of things I buy. I like these croissants, and the package is perfect as a small hothouse to start seedlings. I've already started peanut and tomato seeds in this one. Some of the tomato seeds I purchased, and some were from tomatoes I strained to collect the seeds. Speaking of peanuts, if you're anything like me, I always thought of peanuts as nuts, when actually they're in the bean family. In the past, I've used beans for food and as a nitrogen fixer for the soil, so I didn't need to use a lot of fertilizer. This year, I'm also using peanuts as my below-ground soil fixer, so I can grow things like peppers and tomatoes above ground to get double-duty use out of the garden, while also boosting the soil. You can see here where I've already planted peanuts and will come back and put in collards and okra in the other bed to fix the soil while getting above and below ground production. Right now, I'm just waiting for the okra to sprout. I went ahead and took a full view picture of the garden so you can follow along, because in no time it's going to fill out with all the vegetables I've planted in ground and from seedlings. Oh yes, for those of you worried about the banana plant, it has already started to come back. And finally, I haven't forgotten about the outdoor kitchen to clean and prepare stuff from the garden. I put on a felt cover to protect it from the rain and nailed down the edges to keep it in place while I waited for the weather to warm up. I have the shingles and a nail gun that I caught on sale that I can use to finish the project. So all in all, there will be a lot going on in my very different garden. See you next time.